Hello and welcome to Patrick's Models and Transport. So today is the 31st of May 2025 and it's afternoon and we're going to go and have a look at Prato della Valle, the biggest square in Padova, which is the location of a big market every Saturday, and historically has been the location of cattle market, horse market, etc, etc. We'll have a look at it in detail on a weekday when there is no market and we can actually park. So my wife wanted to go to the market, I dropped her off and I found a quiet place to park the Fiat Panda. Right now I'm in Via di Messe. This is Collegio di Messe. This is a private school run by the nuns, and I like this street. It's very quiet. It has some very beautiful street lights. If you look carefully, these are old bell-shaped street lights with proper bulbs with a very beautiful wrought iron arm. Let's see if I can zoom in and show you. Look at that. That's an absolute beauty. Anyway, and the lamps have been angled so that they shine on the street. And these proper light bulbs are much better than LED. Much better. Okay. I might have a tendency to be a bit old-fashioned, but this is just my way of seeing things. Anyway, let's go and see Prato della Valle. I found a nice place in the shade here, but let's hit the road and see something else, because she's going to go and ratch around the whole market, so I've got plenty of time to take you around and see some things. This is Prato della Valle, and you can see there's the market. I was hoping to be able to stop the car properly and get out and film, but you can see that there's also the fun fair and the shows. But because on the 13th of June it's St. Anthony's of Padua, and so traditionally in the month of May until St. Anthony's, there's the shows are here in Prato della Valle. But they're only in this corner here towards Santa Giustina. This is the Basilica of Santa Giustina up there, which was actually one of the oldest churches in Padova. The oldest part is inside the Basilica. When I was a kid, in the month of May, the shows were practically nearly all the way around the whole square. Now they're only in a corner, so it was really absolutely wonderful. And there was a lot less street architecture. Practically the island, the Isola Memia. Here's an electric bus coming along. Mine is road. Nobody knows. Hello, there's an electric bus. One of Padova's electric buses. I'm not really a big fan of electric battery buses. I think that trolley buses are proper electric buses. Silent. The proper diesel buses were much more interesting. But we have methane ones and diesel as well. So there we go, and we'll try and go in another position now. Prato della Valle wouldn't have been complete without actually coming round and seeing St. Anthony's Basilica. Here we are, let's see it, not through the windscreen. I just stopped here, I'm not really parked properly, but we can see it in its full height. Let's go back through the windscreen now, and you can see that there are two flags on the church. On the left there's an Italian flag, and on the right there's a yellow and white flag of the Vatican State. Because St. Anthony's Basilica is a Vatican Basilica, so inside it's extraterritorial. So when you go in there, you're not in Italy, you're in the Vatican State. In fact, the guards, there are some guards at the entrance to also make sure that people go in properly dressed, have got the papal keys on their jacket lapels. And one day I could take you in and visit it, but maybe not in summer. It's too hot and too many tourists, and soon Padova will be also flooded with pilgrims coming from all over Europe, and Eastern Europe in particular, because the Poles are very devout to St. Anthony. Right, I'd better move, because, and the extraterritorial part begins on the wall where you see that man standing. That's the border between Italy and the Vatican State. So I'm going to pick up my wife because she said she's seen enough, she's hot and tired, and she wants a taxi. Cheerio, and see you next time. Here's a little bonus to our short video of around Prato della Valle and St. Anthony's Basilica. This is Porta Santa Croce, or Santa Croce Gate, and on the 1st of August 1866, this was the gate that King Victor Emmanuel accessed Padova as a liberator after the Third War of Independence, when Veneto and Friuli became part of the unified Kingdom of Italy, ending Austrian rule, which began after the Napoleonic period. And on the Bastione Santa Croce Bastion, there was my primary school. The building's still there. Now it's a play centre for kids. You can't really see it now because the trees are full of leaves. And on the bastion you can see the St. Mark's Lion, the symbol of the Venetian Republic, because these are the Venetian walls with bastions, the artillery defence fortifications, which replaced the 14th century walls, tall medieval walls that stood right behind them. And with this final view, that's enough. Over and out. Cheerio, and see you next time.